Hope everybody had a good weekend, a nice relaxing weekend. We are going to have some fun tonight, I think. We're going to be breaking some 2020 football. That's right, getting into that new draft class with Contenders draft picks. Do have a little bit of information I'd like to go over before we actually get started ripping. So while everybody's getting in and getting settled, we're going to get started with that. Feedback, I get asked that question a lot, so that's why it's incorporated in here. My feedback is automated on eBay, so that way you don't ever have to wait on me. Whenever you leave positive feedback for me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. How's that for a win-win, right? Yeah, we like that. And then, of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Always appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We are... Whoops, wait a minute. Maybe we're going to. There we go. Now we're going to look at what's coming up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night it's Bowman baseball. It's a half case break. Once again, those are loose boxes. That's going to be the case with a lot of Bowman this year, just because of the way Topps split stuff up, shipping 25% and then 75%. Messed it all up. On Wednesday night, it will be a half case of select baseball. That is the first half of a new case on Wednesday. Thursday night, we're going to turn around and finish that case. Yeah, how's that for handy, back to back? Friday night, we've got 3 new releases slated for Friday, assuming that they all show up. And as it stands right now, I believe they are all on track. 9:30 Eastern. We're going to start a little bit later on Friday than we normally do. And it's going to take us a while. It'll be kind of a long break. Because there is so much to break, we're only going to do a half case of Court Kings. Those will be loose boxes from shared case on that. We'll do a full case of Tier 1. That's a pretty relatively quick break. And then we'll do a half case of Score Football, and that's a long break. But in the Score Football, those are also loose boxes, by the way, but Veteran Base does not ship in Score Football. Okay, it has a separate bidding category, but it tells you in the listing description all the stuff that does ship to the teams, and it's a massive amount of stuff. You know, it's all the numbered stuff, the inserts, the parallels, the rookies, the autographs, etc., etc. It's literally just Veteran Base that doesn't. Both Saturday night and Sunday night will be off nights. So now let's take a look at what you need to know for tonight. So this is a half case, loose boxes, Contenders Draft Picks football. Going to be out the door, I'm going to say approximately Thursday. Might go sooner. Hopefully won't go later. If it did go later, I don't think it would be more than a day later. But I don't really think it'll be later unless something, weird happens. And everybody's going to get cards in here because all the cards ship. So I feel like every team's going to get something. If for some reason some team did not pull anything at all, not even a base card, you would still get a package in the mail. It would have consolation card or cards in it, and it would go out when the rest of the break ships. Now, let me take a little peek at something and see if we are paid up or not. There was a team or two floating out there. Let's see if it managed to get paid or not. We're going to find out. Yeah, see, my guess was not, and I'm right. Anytime you see those bidders with feedback under a couple of hundred, yeah, you got about a 20% chance of getting paid if they haven't paid you pretty quickly. So we've got the Giants available in here. Looks like they sold on eBay for $22. If somebody wants the Giants, if you have any interest in the Giants, please let me know. They are currently sitting unpaid, so they are available. I need to update our spreadsheet to reflect that, so give me 1 minute to do that, and then we'll get back in our groove here. But first things first, let's mark out our little unpaid bidder. I know. You would think, wouldn't you, at some point unpaid bidding would stop, but it never does. Never does. Every night. Okay. Hi, Jay Allen, and Joker's Tribe is here, who's just coming by to check out and see what we pull. Welcome, Joker. And Ben is here. He said, you got into my break and you didn't even know it was my listing. Hey, well, that worked out really well then, didn't it? So, yay. All right. So here's what we're looking at. It is a 6-box half case break of Contenders Draft Picks football. This is a 2020 product, of course. It is a collegiate product, as the name implies there, which means everybody's going to be in their college uniforms, right? So drafted players and any active players go to their current teams. If we were to find base cards or autographs of somebody who is retired from the NFL, it would go to the team they played for the longest. All that fun information can be found in the listing description down there in that special circumstances area. And, of course, the New York Giants, the unpaid team. So does nobody want the Giants? Is that the deal? Or are they just going to ride the pine tonight? No skin in the game. And, of course, everything we are opening tonight did end tonight on eBay, which is Monday night, the 1st of June. Yeah, believe it or not. All right, so nobody's in for the Giants. All right, well, then I guess that's the way it'll just have to go. And I can thank that lovely bidder for his contribution to messing things up, can't we? All right, so the background just got blurry there. That was intentional. I don't want you to worry about that, though. We're going to be able to see the cards up nice and close. Don't worry about the background. We don't care about that anyway. It's the foreground that we care about. And Nick says the Giants got nobody. Exactly, right, because... there might be, I don't know, if they might have, don't they have some veteran players in here? They do, don't they? They have some veteran options in here? I thought we did. I was pretty sure they had somebody in here, like an active player, a veteran player. I didn't think they were totally without in here. Saquon or somebody, I believe, is an option. But anyway... All right, guys, so it tells us on the front here, 6 autographs per box. You see in little tiny print there, it says on average. Here's what that really means. Every once in a while, they mess us up, and they don't give us something that we're supposed to get. And occasionally, very rarely, they give us something extra, and that's always good. That doesn't happen nearly as often. And then still yet other times what happens is that they will... put in points cards. They take out hits and put in points cards instead. And if that happens to us tonight and we end up with some points cards, then we'll use random.org to give those out at the end of the break. Now, before I dig into looking through this, let me tell you guys a little bit of information about this. So most of this, a lot of this stuff is just going to be base. It's going to look like this. And we're going to go through it really quickly because, well, it's base and there's so much of it that it doesn't have a high degree of value. So that kind of stuff we're going to blow through at a pretty rapid pace. The hits, I'm going to tell you straight up, I am not going to remember where a lot of these guys go. So I'm going to just tell you once again, active players, including rookies who have been drafted or have signed a deal since draft day if they went undrafted, they're going to go to the team that they're affiliated with as of today. And if we find veteran players that are retired, they are going to go to the team they played for the longest. The first one that we see is Rodney Smith. Now, if I remember where somebody goes, I will call it out. Now, again, I'm not going to remember all these. The draft was a while back. And also, yeah, this is my first break of it. So I'm not as... familiar with where things are going to go. Let me see who we've got. We got two different guys on there. Collegiate Connections, yeah. So we've got potentially 2 different teams on there. And Legacy is going to be, well, maybe the same. Well, no, that's both Kyler, so I guess that doesn't matter. But I'm trying to make sure if we've got cards that have 2 different teams on them that I'm laying them off to the side so that we can deal with them at the end of the break. Next up is Devlin. Oh, boy. We're just going to go with Devlin. Or Devin. Asasi? Yeah, I know I butchered that. I know I did. I know I butchered it. Yeah, well, I can't pronounce all the names. We all know that by now, don't we? All right, there's another one that's got 2 different teams on it. It's going to have to go up there, off to the side. And that's got 2 different on it as well. So we're going to have lots of those, it looks like, to do at the end of the night. And we'll just do them by left half of the card, right half of the card. That's how we'll figure it out, since there's going to be a lot of them. Anthony McFarland Jr., our third autograph out. Oh, Joker, you were talking about what year this one was. Yeah, of course, I don't have hardly any older product at this point, because, of course, we had such a long period there where no new product was being produced that I went through pretty much everything we had that was older, and nobody has any older stuff for sale either, for the most part these days. Everybody got cleaned out. Derek Brown is our next autograph out. So we're going to have, yeah, it looks like tons and tons and tons of those cards up there with two different players on the card. Michael Warren, our next autograph. Nick says it's a fun hobby, but don't buy the Colts. You trying to keep Joker from buying the Colts? Is that your team? Yeah. Yeah, Joker, I tell you, it's fun to collect football cards. They have a lot of hits in them, usually. A lot more than you get in basketball, just because the rosters are so much bigger. And you can have a lot of fun with it, for sure. Some of these early season products, if you hit the right guys, you can definitely make a little money on them too. Steven Montez, our next autograph. Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of teams that are going to get expensive this year, Nick. I don't think it's just going to be the Colts. I think there's going to be a lot. It's going to be the first time in a while that the Bengals have been expensive too, isn't it? So yeah, if you're a Bengals fan, normally like day in, day out Bengals fan, it's going to be a hard row this year, a hard row to hoe. It's going to be expensive. It's always like when I like the Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan, so whenever we have a really good draft class, I just figure, oh boy, I'm not going to be buying into too many, if any, breaks on those years. Because the prices get way up there with people who buy into breaks, and then of course they flip the cards, which makes it still, I mean, it's very affordable for them, but if you're the regular collector and you're trying to buy some of those high profile teams just because you want to add it to your own collection, yeah, it gets expensive if you have very many misses on the high profile teams. Isaiah Hodgins, the first autograph that we see out of box number 2. But of course, this year Steelers had no first-round draft pick. We obviously traded it last year for Minka. So, Austin Mack, next autograph. So Steelers probably won't be terribly expensive this year, I don't think. I mean, they're always going to be a little expensive just because, well, a lot of people like the Steelers. But Darrington Evans autograph. You said you like the big money cards. Yeah, the big money cards are the fun ones, aren't they? I am with you on that. I love pulling those kind too. They are the most fun. Of course, I like a lot of cards even that aren't necessarily what I'd call big money cards, but I like some of the old school autographs and stuff like that too, so. Alex, you're looking for Okudah. All right, got a little Lions mojo for you then, huh? Josiah Deguara is our next autograph out there. Whoops, why am I laying him up there? Trying to put him back in the stack and look at him again. I don't think that would help us much. We will, of course, recap at the end and look back through all of our autographs at that point in time. But this is a lot of base. There are a lot of autographs in here too, but they mix in a lot of base with it. A lot like regular contenders. We have the Same thing happened, of course, with regular contenders. Here is Darrell Henderson on a season ticket. And, of course, Darrell Henderson, wait, is he numbered? Yeah, he's numbered to 15. And Darrell Henderson was a rookie last year. He is a Ram. Ooh, here's one, DeAndre Swift. Nice little running back hit there. Is that on-card autograph? Yeah, that is. So you've got a little DeAndre Swift autograph coming out there. And I think, was he the first running back off the board? I want to say maybe he was. He's a Lion, though, so it's not Okudah for you, but at least you've got something going. I think DeAndre Swift would probably be pretty good. So for Detroit, that's not a bad little hit at all. Here is Jeff. Does that say Gladney? I believe it does. Jeff Gladney is our next card out, next autograph out. You said you'll take the DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I thought you might. I think he's going to be pretty solid, so that's not a bad backup plan. And you might still hit Okudah. We don't know. He might still come out of here, too. Oh, there was a parallel numbered one you said that went by. Okay, did we miss it? I missed it. Well, we didn't miss it because you saw it. I missed it. So I think this is the last little stack. Now, of course, all the cards ship in here, guys. So if you see it go by, you're going to get it regardless. And obviously, but one would hope I would find it in sorting if I miss it live. I actually am still not seeing it. Did I just go by it again? This is the last stack we looked at. I'm checking again to make sure I didn't see it go by, but that's not to say that I didn't overlook it. Did you see it go by either of those times? The gold one. Where's the gold one? I swear, how did I miss it this many times? Are you talking about that one, Philip Lindsay? I'm just not seeing it. So maybe there is one numbered in here, guys, but I'm not seeing it. So if it is, I will then hopefully catch it when we do sorting. But that was the last little group we looked at. I went back through it a couple of times and I didn't see it. It's not to say it's not there. My vision is not perfect. In fact, it's actually kind of bad in the middle area where I do these breaks. I know, eye surgery went wrong. So I can see way far away, like farther out than my arms can reach, and I can see up close, but in between the up close and the far away, that's where I have challenges sometimes. Oh, Quinn said there was another one in there. Well, guys, I didn't see it, so I don't know where it was. So, again, I'll find it when it's sorting. You guys said it was in there, and Quinn says he saw it too, and I don't know. I don't know. We looked back through there twice, and I still didn't see it. So, I mean, obviously we saw the one for the Rams, the Darrell Henderson, but beyond that, I don't know. There is Patrick Taylor autograph. I mean, if you all want to stick around at the end, I can go back through every single card again if you want me to try to find it. But that little stack were the ones we had most recently looked through. So I don't know where it is in there. I did not see it. Then we have A.J. Dillon autograph coming up next. Followed by a little Stephen Guidry. Let's see what's over in this other stack, just hanging out over there waiting to be found. And I believe we've got a 1 of 1 approaching here. I think that's going to be a 1 of 1 for Michael Thomas. Hey, hey. So, yeah, nice. Little 1-of-1 championship ticket, Michael Thomas, which would be, of course, the Saints, his current team. All right, we have got Tua and Jerry Jeudy. Wow. Oh, nice. I like both those guys. So Dolphins and Broncos both have a little vested interest in this one. And it is also numbered to 23. And we've got a bit of cracked ice going on. And that is a sweet, sweet little hit. Guess what, though? Can't go both ways. We can't cut it down the middle. So it's going to sit right up there in housekeeping. At the very end of the break, we will figure out where it goes. I will use random.org to tell us whether that card's going to end up going with the Dolphins or whether it's going to end up going the other way to the Broncos. And while we're talking about it, random is done the same way every single time. When I have 10 or more in a list, we do it once. When we have 9 and fewer, we do it 3 times. And the third random is the deciding one. Here's what you were waiting on for your Lions. There's your man, Mr. Jeff Okudah. So you already hit your nice DeAndre Swift, and then you've got Okudah to go with it. So Detroit Lions are rocking on all cylinders at the moment, at least in here, in this break, right? They're owning it in this break. Nice to have nights like that sometimes. All right, on the horizon, it is Aaron Fuller. And more of so many 2-team cards. So many. That's all right, though. We're going to be able to sort them all out by doing random 1 times. Michael says, where's the Okudah guy? He's there. Yeah, that's a nice little hit right there. Was he what was the 3rd overall, right? Yeah. Behind Chase Young. Well, and obviously Joe Burrow was number 1, but I was going through the rest of them in my head. Alex says the only time he can get excited is in the off season because he still has hope. Well, you know what? I always think that the early season products are a lot like playing the stock market. You know, you've got to find the hidden gems, the ones that you think are going to do well, but right now nobody else is too hyped up on, and you get them at a buy them low and then sell them high when the season starts. That requires less capital investment than buying the hot ones and just hoping they do well. We have a Bryan Edwards autograph. It is numbered to 18 with a playoff ticket, and that, of course, is a hollow foil if you couldn't tell by looking at it, which you probably could. Patrick Queen autograph comes up next, and that, again, is a hollow foil playoff ticket, and once again numbered to 18. So a pair of 18s right there, almost back to back. Then we've got Matt Ryan. Oh, and that is a bowl ticket. I was thinking that might be autographed. That would have been nice. So there's Matty Ice to 99. That, of course, goes to the Falcons. I was really thinking that was going to be autographed, which would have been really nice if it had been. All right, we've got next up is Rico Dowdle, maybe not pronounced that way, but probably not pronounced that way. But Anyway, there he is. So whether I butchered his name or not, you saw how you spell it, so you can probably pronounce it better than I. Here is Akeem Davis Gaither, and that is on a college ticket, hollow foil. It is numbered to 15. Oh, is that another? Yeah, that's another. Good grief. Giant stack of those up there. Tyler Johnson is our next autograph out. And Tyler is also a hard signed autograph. I had to run my finger across there to make sure I didn't feel a sticker. Sometimes they look like they would be hard signed, and then, whoops, there'll be a little sticker there that you feel. James Morgan, next autograph up. All right, and that is on a college ticket for the James Morgan. Jay Allen, you said you like the Brian Edwards card and you wish it was yours. Yeah, I know. It is hard sometimes, right? Like, it's easy to see some of the hits coming out going, man, I wish I had bought that team. I think we've all done that before. Hi, Quinn. Quinn's joined us and says, if Matt Ryan had been autographed, you would have crapped a gold brick. Well, if that happened, your gold brick would definitely be worth more than the card. Price of gold is pretty good these days, I think. So you might have to clean it up a little first, but otherwise, yeah. All right, let's see what awaits us here in box number 5. Nick says, do the Peyton Manning cards go to the Colts? Yes, because Peyton Manning he is retired, and he played the most number of years for the Colts. So yes, because this is a collegiate product. So once again, as a refresher course on the collegiate stuff, current players, including any recently drafted and or undrafted but recently signed players, will go to the teams that they are currently associated with. Ditto for any active players. It is only retired veteran players that would go to the team they played for the longest if we find them in here, because once again, being in their collegiate uniforms, that's how it works. We have got a bowl ticket. That is numbered to 99, and it is Anthony McFarland Jr. And of course, if anybody really wants to get into the nitty-gritty of it, there is a whole little section down at the bottom of the listing description called Special Circumstances, and one of the headings, I think, says Collegiate All-Star or something like that. Anyway, it tells you all that fun stuff in more detail. Brian Lewerke autograph. Jay Allen says you have no clue if you've got any cards. Yeah, well, a lot of these I've got to look up myself. Obviously, the ones I know I'm telling you, but a lot of these guys, I just haven't memorized most of the checklist yet. That's Patrick Queen. I think that's our second Patrick Queen. And particularly, this is my first break, of course, of a 2020 collegiate product, and the draft has been so long ago. Usually we see Score Football on the same weekend of the draft, and then it's much easier to remember than doing it this many weeks after. And some of these guys, you know, are in farther rounds back where maybe I've zoned out or stopped watching. Or, you know, then you got to try to remember, oh man, I didn't even see that, but where'd that guy go? Yeah. So after I break it a few times, I'll have it more memorized. But today, yeah, I do not have a lot of it memorized. Julian Akwara, and it is numbered to 99, bowl ticket hollow foil. And Brett Favre coming up next. I'm going to assume it's probably going to be numbered like Matty Ice. Probably not autographed. It'd be nice if it was autographed. But it is not. It is a bowl ticket, Brett Favre. It is hollow foil, numbered to 99, going to, of course, the Green Bay Packers. And I spy with my little eye, another 1 of 1 in here. It's our second 1 of 1 in this half case. And this is a printing plate. KJ Hamler, 1 of 1 printing plate. So that's a nice little hit right there. And I cannot remember. Can anybody tell me where's KJ Hamler? I can't remember KJ Hamler. Let me see if I've got it anywhere where I know off the top of my head. Broncos then, maybe, for the Hamler. Is that right? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Lowell wrote down Broncos too. Okay. So, yeah. So, I think that 1 of 1 Hamler, I think, is the Broncos. He was early part of the second round, the best I recall. So, he's pretty, fairly highly regarded, obviously. John Hightower is out next. And what else have we got? Jay Allen, you said you looked at the checklist by team. You should have written it down. Listen, there's so many to remember. Well, of course, if you're just trying to keep track of your 1 or 2, if you've got a couple of teams in here, that would be easier to keep track of, sure, than the whole checklist. Absolutely. Even if I had looked at it by team, I would still only retain a handful of them, unfortunately. It's just been too long since the draft for me to remember most of them. All right, so here we are rolling through our last box. So you know what that means. Yes, indeed, kids. It is last box mojo time. So let's hope we can find some smoking hot hits in here. Now, after we look through this last box, what will happen? A variety of things. We'll have to take that little stack, well, big stack now, of cards that have 2 different players on them, and we'll use random.org to find that a home. Then we'll deal with this little beauty, which is Tua and Jerry Jeudy, and we'll use random.org to find it a home. There is Tavian Feaster. And then after we do all of that fun stuff, then we will recap our autographs. So that's kind of how things are going to roll here in the next few minutes as we work our way through the last of it here. There's Jeff Gladney. I want to say maybe we saw an autograph for him already. Did we? Maybe we did. I wouldn't swear to it, but again, we will recap it, so not to worry. We will sort it out. Aaron Fuller waits for us here, and Aaron Fuller is on a regular college ticket. Antonio Gandy Golden comes out next, and he is on a bowl ticket, and that is a hollow foil, and it is numbered to 99. He's got a tiny little signature in there, doesn't he? For such a long name, that's such a tiny little signature for Mr. Gandy Golden. We are going to have Score Football, of course, coming out Friday, so I'm probably going to have to do some cramming between now and Friday and try to memorize this checklist. Sorting it'll help me. That'll help me remember it. And then after we break Score a time or two, and I've had to sort all that, by then I should have most of it memorized, I imagine. We've got a hollow foil bowl ticket, Christian Kirk. numbered to 99. Christian Kirk, of course, is an Arizona Cardinal. I see Javon Leake autograph waiting for us here. That's on a regular college ticket, which is the base autograph in this particular set, of course. And we have a little school color KJ Hamler. Wow. Is that not crazy? We hit the 1 of 1, and now we've got a cracked ice to 23 for KJ Hamler on the school colors. I mean, so come on, man. If you've got Denver, that's a little bit of an embarrassment of riches, isn't it? You got couple of nice KJ Hamlers, and you still got a shot up here at the Jerry Jeudy too, so your night could get even better depending on how random feels about things here in a minute. All right, well, that was a good one to end on with KJ Hamler. I like ending on that one. So let's get our stuff done. Let's get our work done up here. Nick says Panini points. No, we didn't have any Panini points. Did you guys see? Now, I know I didn't miss a Panini points card. Did I, guys? There's no way I missed Panini points card. Right? No way I missed a Panini's points card. I don't think. Okay. So, were you just saying you thought we were going to hit some, Nick? So look, guys, there's a huge stack of these, and in both cases, on each card design, there is obviously a player on the left and a player on the right. So since there is a rather large stack of these, too many for us to do one at a time, what we're going to do is go to random.org, and I'm going to type in left side and right side. And then we will use random to tell us whether it's going to go to the player that is on the right side of each of those cards or the player that is on the left side of each of those cards. So, whoops, I got us on the wrong screen, don't I? Let's get back over here and fix that. Now we'll try that again. All right, that's a little more like it. And so once again, we do random the same way every time. 10 or more items in a list, we do random once. 9 or fewer, as we will have here, we do random 3 times. First one does not count. Second one does not count. Only the third and final time that we run random will determine where those go. All right, so ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. I do have it so you can see this, don't I? Yeah, okay, good. And then here's our third and final. Did it run? It didn't. Let's try it again. Are you going to run? There we go. 3 times, date and time stamp on there. It's going to the player on the left-hand side of the card. All right, so it's going like this. So we'll just go through these really quickly. So in every case, it is the player on the left-hand side of each of these cards. So that one was Tua, and this one's DeAndre Swift, Joe Burrow, etc. So player on the left the whole way through. And I'm just going through them so that if you have a vested interest, you get one more look. It's easier when you see them all together than if you had to, you know, try to remember as we found them in the stacks. And if for any reason I did not set it out separately, which is entirely possible that I left some, I mean, I tried not to, but if I accidentally sorted one into the main stack over there, not to worry, because, you know, it'll be the same. It would go to the player on the left, although hopefully we didn't miss any. Hopefully I stacked them all out separately. But that's just a quick little look through. So if you've got Jalen Hurts or you've got Denzel Mims, you know, etc., that's going to be headed to you. Now we've got to deal with this, and I got to tell you what, I love this card, and this is such a nice card. Tua on the top for the Dolphins and Jerry Jeudy on the bottom for the Broncos. It's a cracked ice as well. It's numbered to 23, and only one of those 2 teams is going to be able to take it home. I'm going to enter the Dolphins first because they're on the top of the card. We'll enter the Broncos second, being that they're on the bottom of the card. We will once again run random 3 different times. The first two will not count. It will be the third and final random that will tell us whether that card goes to the Dolphins or to the Broncos. So good luck to both of those teams, and let's get this up and running here. Well, goodness, if I can type it without making a mess. All right, well, I still made a mess, but you got the idea. I hit space, I guess, instead of the N. So ignore the first random. You ignore the second random. Here comes our third and final. There it is, 3 times, date and time stamp, and it is going to the Dolphins. Getting the nice Tua autograph. Well, Tua and Jerry Jeudy combo, but headed to the Dolphins for that one. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get this labeled up in a top loader so that I don't have to try and remember it later. So there I wrote on the top loader, obviously did not clearly write on the card. I always like to say that because if you don't, sure enough, somebody will say, oh my goodness, you wrote on my card. No, we wrote on the top loader. So that nice little card there headed to the Dolphins. And that begins our recap. Numbered cards that don't have ink attached, numbered to 99, Christian Kirk going to the Arizona Cardinals. Numbered to 99, it's Brett Favre for the Green Bay Packers. And then going to 99, Matty Ice for the Falcons. We've got a sweet little 1/1 Michael Thomas that goes to the Saints. And numbered to 15, Darrell Henderson heads to the Rams. The rest of our autographs. So there is a KJ Hamler, and it is school colors, cracked ice. It's numbered to 23, and it goes to the Denver Broncos. Next up is Javon Leake, and we've got a bowl ticket hollow foil, numbered to 99, Antonio Gandy Golden, Aaron Fuller, Jeff Gladney, Tavian Feaster, John Hightower. Then we have, believe it or not, a 1/1 KJ Hamler autograph printing plate, which is always nice to hit. And that, of course, again, going to Denver. And on those printing plates, if you guys don't know this, most of you probably do, but in case you don't, they often have scratches, marks, wear, etc., because they really are used in the making of the card, so they very seldom are minty mint surfaces. Okawara, numbered to 99, with a hollow foil that was. Patrick Queen, who maybe is a Raven, and I think we have a second autograph for him. I wouldn't swear that he's a Raven, but I think maybe he is. There's Brian Lewerke. There's a bowl ticket hollow foil to 99 for Anthony McFarland. There's James Morgan, Tyler Johnson, a college ticket hollow foil numbered to 15 for Akeem Davis Gaither. There's Rico Dowdle, playoff ticket hollow foil numbered to 18, Patrick Queen, again, who I think is a Raven. And here's a sweet little Brian Edwards. That is a playoff ticket hollow foil. It is also numbered to 18. There's Aaron Fuller. And there's the Jeff Okudah, followed by Stephen Guidry and A.J. Dillon, Patrick Taylor. There's that other Jeff Gladney. I thought we had two. Yeah, right? We did see another one. DeAndre Swift. That's another nice one for the Lions, who, of course, had the Okudah a minute ago. Josiah DeGara. Darrington Evans. Austin Mack. Isaiah Hodgins. Stephen Montez, Michael Warren, Derek Brown, Anthony McFarland, Devin, I can't say it, and Rodney Smith. All right, so there's the recap. Now, I will put up spreadsheet information one final time if you missed it earlier. We're going to take another look at when you can expect your item to ship and what is coming up in the days ahead. Let me see what I missed in chat. Ben, you're asking about do we have any other breaks of this on eBay right now? Now remember, this is not the first half of a case. This was a loose box break, which, guys, it does always note that in the listing description when that is the case. And of course, I always note it on these informational sheets too, for those of you who are here a lot of nights. So there is not a quote-unquote back half of this case because these came to me as loose boxes. But at this moment, I do not have another break of contenders up and running. We probably will break some more sometime soon, but I don't have it listed right at this moment to answer that question. Let's get this back up here. Okay, so shipping. Hoping to have this out the door and on the way approximately Thursday. If the week goes great, maybe it goes a little sooner. If the week goes off the rails, could always go a day later. That's usually why, well, it's why it says plus or minus a day there, kind of to allow for unexpected things in either direction. Unexpectedly good or bad, but generally speaking, should be out the door, I think, around Thursday. And I believe every team probably has cards of some sort. There's a massive amount of base, of course, in there, as well as our hits. But if there is a team who ended up with nothing, not one single thing of any type at all, then you are still going to get a package in the mail. It would have consolation card or cards in it, and it would ship out when the rest of the break goes out the door. So that's how that's going to work. And here's what it looks like in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, it's a half case of Bowman baseball. Those are loose boxes. And on Wednesday night, select baseball, half case, start of a new case. Thursday night, select baseball, half case, back half of the case that we do on Wednesday. We're going to finish it on Thursday, and that will be the last of the select baseball. On Friday, we have 3 new products scheduled, assuming that UPS actually shows up with them all. We will break them on Friday night starting at 9:30 Eastern, a little later than normal, and 6:30 Pacific, that is. We will break a half case of Court Kings basketball. Those are loose boxes. On the same night, a case of Tier 1. That sounds like a lot, but there's only 1 pack per box, and there's not a lot, not a lot of cards per pack, so that Tier 1 won't take as long as it sounds like it will. And then our third break on Friday night will be Score Football. That one will take forever. It is a 6-box half case break. Those, once again, are loose boxes from Shared Case. Veteran base cards do not ship to the teams in that break. They have their own bidding spot. And there will be some crazy amount of cards in there. Like, I don't know, there's a couple thousand, probably more than 2,000 cards in a half case of Score. So, yeah, settle in, bring a beverage. It'll be a long one Friday night. Then both Saturday and Sunday will be off nights. And that, I guess, has got me covered for tonight. So, as always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope I will see you again soon on another break. Always glad to have the company. In the meantime, stay safe and happy and healthy. And I'll be back at it tomorrow night, and we'll see you then. Bye now.